Tell you guys all the time about Cutter's Edge Pro, man, and what they did with our backyard and made it a pure oasis. That's our Sylvester tree right there. A beautiful day, providing a ton of sunshine. We've got one exactly like this out in the front yard, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's Bono hanging around on the artificial turf. What's up, Bono? What's the word, baby? There you go, wagging that little tail. Maiden, there she is. Ziggy, how you doing, Ziggy? There you go. So we got the doggies hanging out. So just want to give you a little, we got some of the trees starting off from this way with the artificial turf. You see, there's Ziggy again, of course. Got it all the way. And look, we got some flowers coming out. That tree now will start to also spring, and it's absolutely beautiful too. So got all that, they can do all kinds of things for you in your backyard to kind of make it an oasis, which is what we've done. And obviously the dogs can play. What's up, Bono? I got him there hanging out. Maiden, there she is. There she is, the one and only. She's mean as a skunk, by the way. Just want you to know. She's awesome with us, but I mean, if you're a stranger, you don't want to meet Maiden. So as you can see, and then the artificial turf, remember, there's no watering. There's no cutting the grass. It looks fabulous like this the entire time. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Back here in this corner is where we put the barbecue. I wheel it out, cook, then I wheel it back in. See, looks beautiful, doesn't it? Flowers are coming out. It's awesome. And then when I want to play a little golf, there's my putting green down the side, which is a beautiful thing. There's one of the holes all the way to the other side where Bono is at. All lights up. It's really beautiful when it lights up. See, we got the rough. Got several. Got one on that side. Got one over there in the corner where Bono's leaving. Got rough all over the place, man. Just in case, you get the ball trapped in there. That's it. That's another swing. Right, Maiden? So, check it out, cuttersedgepro.com. Make your home an oasis. Make your business, your HOA complex, condominium, you name it, they got you, bro. They do it all. All right? Then cut your trees down, and the artificial turf, I swear by it. Really easy to maintain, and it looks just absolutely freaking beautiful. Cutter's Edge Pro. Right, Ziggy?
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com. For over
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, or good afternoon, that is. Depends on where you're at here in the world, right? Because we are at noon right now here in South Florida. 12:04 on a beautiful Sunday, May 21st. And South Florida fans are just feeling it right now. Holy shit, man. This is a ride none of us expected. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Let's get on board. Let's have some fun. And, it's just two teams that have just absolutely turned everything around. And personally for me, last night was, as I told you, I have figured out, right? Like in football for many years, you know who you dislike, right? You dislike the Jets and the Bills and the Patriots, right? You might have a dislike for another team or two, but in general, it's going to go in that direction for us as Dolphin fans. If you're a Heat fan, what you dislike, right? You dislike the Celtics. You dislike the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It's laid out for you. You kind of know it. With the Panthers, believe it or not, the team has been around for so long, but you really don't have any rivalries. You really don't have like that team you admire and you want to like maybe knock off Tampa, but it's really not a rivalry because Tampa really has the edge way over. This is the one. This is the team. I told you a few days ago. I figured it out. I hate the Hurricanes. I can't freaking stand the Hurricanes. It's the one team over any other team as a Panthers fan that I despise because they've been a thorn in the Panthers side for many years now. They're really good too. Kind of helps. But even up until when we even had Trocheck and they would take cheap shots at Trocheck and all that, and our wussy ass players wouldn't do anything about it. This is, pre-Gudis. And so, it's just one of those things that like, I really am enjoying this series. Beating the Bruins was awesome because of the Bruins record, but I don't have that ill will towards the Bruins. Beating the Maple Leafs doesn't mean shit to me, even though they're really good, but It's awesome to win it just like Boston, but it doesn't feel personal. You know what I mean? When I watch Tua bury freaking Belichick every time, I love it. Am I clear enough on that? I love it. Okay? I love it. We got a quarterback that's got an answer for that sorry ass no matter who he's playing with. Love it. You know, that I am enjoying. This is what I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying beating the Carolina Hurricanes ass, dude. And Kachuk. What can I tell you about Kachuk? He is now a South Florida legend. Remember last year, I'm the guy that got on the bandwagon before anybody because nobody has the balls usually to say what we say on this show. We tell you before anybody else, you need to fire Dale Talon. Nobody had the balls to even follow up with that with me. None. Not the beat writers. Nobody would touch that. Guess what happened? They figured out what I said, and they fired Dale Talon. And then I said, hey, this team is loaded with a bunch of wussies. All they do is they get pushed around constantly. You need to toughen up this team. What does Zito do? He gets here, he takes over, he sees the same shit I see, and he goes and gets Ratko Gudas and others to toughen up this team, which they are tough now. Then I said last year, nobody would dare to say this. So you got to get rid of Jonathan Huberdeau. You can't be led by two passive players. Barkov's a passive player. He's a nice guy, kind of a goober. And then here's Hubie, two passive players rubbing each other. No good. Nobody had the balls to say that, but they got it. They got rid of Huberdeau, and they brought in Kachuk. I said, you need a son of a bitch. And guess what's happened now? So now you've got the son of a bitch in Kachuk, who's your best player, and you saw him yesterday diving to block a shot. When your best player's willing to do anything and everything to win, it sends a message to his teammates. It sends a message to the coaches. It sends a message to the fans. And it sends a message to even ownership. You know why? Because if that sumbitch is willing to go anywhere and everywhere to win and dive and put his body on the line to take a hit from the stick and the puck at the same time, well, then if you're an owner and that guy walks into your office and says, I need you to get another person, this guy, I need something. Now you got to fucking answer to the guy. Because that guy's not going to sacrifice himself and then walk in there and you're going to tell him, no, we don't have enough money or this and that. That's the thing that a Kachuk does to everybody. It puts everybody, not that you need Viola and Sifu on notice because they're not worried about luxury tax. All right. They're never crying cheap, ever crying cheap. So, it's pretty amazing. And so Kachuk, that's what he does. He sends those signals. And then everybody else is like, it's all part of hockey, sacrificing anyways. It doesn't matter who you are. You know what I mean? This is actually really nothing new, but it's just nice to see because, with Panther fans being kind of fresh to all of this, this is normal in hockey that even only stars do these kind of things in the NHL. They don't really do that in the other sports. It's usually role players that are doing that kind of stuff. But it's just absolutely amazing. Amazing. And then he gets both game winners here. This is why you brought him. And let me tell you something. How about Barkov yesterday with a big boy goal? He's had a couple now. And here's the best part about Barkov now. Kachuk rubbing off on him. Remember I told you, the Hubie, what's it called? Barkov combination, two goobers. Can't do that, bro. So now you've got a Verhaeghe who's an SOB. You've got a Reinhardt who's an SOB. You got a Montour who's an SOB. You got a Bennett who's an SOB. You got a Duclair who's an SOB. And you got the biggest SOB of them all in Kachuk. So now Barkov is surrounded by SOBs. Guess what rubs off a little bit now? Now he's going to have, you'll see him play with a little bit more of an edge. And now we're watching him hit the big goals and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's nice for him to win the faceoffs and all that stuff that they talk about, but they pay him to carry the heavy load. You know what I'm saying? And it's really nice to see him scoring and coming up big in big moments. I think that's huge. I think he needs that, quite frankly. He needs it. You know, he needs it part of his resume. But Kachuk, man, wow. I am so happy that they got a absolute real franchise stud, because he has changed everything. You know, and as I tweeted out last night, if you're wondering what Panther jersey to get, I think you kind of know now, right? If you're thinking about what jersey to buy your kid, I think you kind of know now you want to buy a Matthew Tkachuk jersey, right? Because that guy represents everything that's right about sports. You know what I'm saying? Just like Butler, you know, it's the same way. A true pro plays all out, has his heart on his sleeve, by the way, because Tkachuk is kind of the same way. He's an antagonist. He is fearless. He's physical. He's a talent. He can score at will. He will force his way in. You gotta love the attitude that Tkachuk and a Jimmy Butler play with. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fun to see what's going on. And let me tell you, it is super impressive what the Panthers are doing. I know what the Heat is doing is amazing, but what the Panthers are doing, they have taken down each of the favorites to win the cup. You know, finally with Vegas and the Stars left over, I was calling it Edmonton, I think it was. Anyways, with the Vegas and the Stars left, and I think it's 1-0 Vegas, right? If I'm correct. Yeah, 1-0 Vegas today at 3:00 is game 2. With those two left, the Panthers will finally be favorites to win the cup if they advance here. Okay, so they're looking really, really good. All you got to do now, ladies and gentlemen, okay, is win one of two at home. Worst case scenario. Of course, I know what you're saying. But no, let's go for the sweep. Win all two. Of course you want to do that. But you need to go back to Toronto where they feel like, to Carolina, like they've got no shot. Because if you're up 3-1, you got no shot. You're not beating the Panthers 3 straight. Nobody's beating the Panthers. Not even the Boston Bruins are beating the Panthers 3 straight. Okay? So that's what you've got to do. Of course, in a perfect world, you want to win both and all that good stuff, just like with the Miami Heat. Okay? Let's talk a little bit and let's preview the Miami Heat. We were on Friday night. If you didn't catch it, we recapped the game. And tonight, I probably won't recap the game. I'll just be on in the morning on Monday. Okay, but who knows? Maybe I do. Maybe my crazy ass recaps it. Who knows? But yeah, the good thing is you've again here with Miami. You've got to win one of two. That's all. Win one of two, and you're fine. You got to put it where Boston has no shot. You go back to Boston, you're up 3-1. Do you want to go back to Boston? Of course not. Especially when you're watching what's going on with Denver and the Lakers. Like the Lakers have no shot in this series. You know, I was hoping for the Lakers. Obviously, I picked Denver to win in this series, but I was praying for the Lakers to, surprise them at least. But it's not going to happen. The Lakers just don't, the Nuggets are too good. Too good. You know, what the Heat are doing is improbable at this point. It's just one of those things. They're beating a team that's better than them. I tweeted out yesterday, you know how good Eric Spoelstra is? If Eric Spoelstra was coaching the Celtics, they'd be up 2-0 on the Heat right now. That's how good Eric Spoelstra is. Okay? He'd be up 2-0 at this point in time. So this is an amazing coaching job, a great job by Jimmy Butler, and then all the guys around him are just filling the roles and doing what they're supposed to do, and it is just a thing of beauty. And if the role players continue to do it, they're going to have a great opportunity here at advancing and taking care of business against the Boston Celtics. But what you cannot do if you're the Heat, you cannot lose both games in Miami. Not that the series is over if you do that, but you give the Celtics all kinds of life. You know, the perfect thing is to win today, where game 4, there's no pressure on the Heat at all. And everything's on the Celtics. And, you know, if they eke one out and you go back to Boston 3-1, it's a beautiful thing. You got 3 games left. Miami will take care of business. But there is no way in hell, okay, that you are allowed to lose both games in Miami. That's for sure. So you better find a way, you know, to win one of the two, preferably win both. That would be amazing. Ooh, needed a little water. Had no water. Wife saves me, comes in time. Brings me to my Fiji, baby. Yes. And by the way, I was in Raleigh earlier this week, and Armando, if I'm correct, right? It's Armando that came out there to visit me. Armando and his lovely wife, they came out to visit me over at the hotel where I was staying at. And boy, I gotta tell, yes, it is Armando. They brought me a bottle of Fiji water. That's because if you watch the show enough, you know this is my preferred water. This is something, you know, so it's the second time that I meet a listener, right? Dougie Fresh and Victoria, obviously, and I point this way because the Rush lunchbox is back there, and so is the Devo hat and all that. Anyways, that Dougie Fresh contributed to the show, but what's it called? You know, the when I went to visit Dougie Fresh over in Pensacola and Victoria at their bar, they had a big old bottle of Fiji waiting for me. So Armando had watched the show in the morning, and I had smart water because they didn't have Fiji. So when I ordered water in to be delivered, and some food and all kinds of stuff, I had to order smart. I don't mind smart water. It's solid. But obviously this is my preferred water. So Armando was kind enough. He shows up with a bottle of Fiji, which was just absolutely awesome. And Armando, and I forgot your wife's name. I am so sorry. But it was great to meet you guys, and thank you so much for the loyalty and the support. I know Sean and myself, you know, truly appreciate it. So appreciate all of you out there that are always tuning in and supporting our show. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. And remember, you can make a Bitcoin donation there also, because those are my favorite donations, a Bitcoin donation. So thank you. One more thing, because somebody sent me on Friday night a late Cash App. I think it was a Cash App or a Venmo. I got to check it out now. And I did not get to the gentleman in time because I saw it after. It was Josh V, and he sent one in for the Heat. Says, I saw the Heat game at the rally. And then he also sent in, can I get a B-Day shout out? My birthday is May 21st. So today is May 21st. Right. And so Josh V probably didn't know I was going to do a show. I didn't even know I was going to do this show. I got up and I said, you know, Panther game happened last night. The Heat game, you know, I'm not going to be on again until after the Heat game. So maybe I should do a small show for the hell of it. So Josh V, thank you for the Cash App, first of all. Thank you for the donation. But shout out for you, Josh V. Happy 21st birthday, my brother. And for your birthday, I hope the Miami Heat kick the Boston Celtics ass today. Boston, by the way, is favored by 3.5 today. I have won both games, taking the Heat and the points. I think I got 8.5 one and 8 in the other, if I'm correct. And I'm taking the Heat again plus the 3.5. Yeah, I'm taking the Heat again. I'm not convinced the Celtics. This bunch has been underachieving for a while. They're really talented. They have the talent to win a title. Like I told you, Eric Spoelstra's coaching these guys. They would have already won a title in the last couple of years, at least once. Dude, Eric Spoelstra is in his third Eastern Conference Finals in 4 years with less talent than the Celtics have. That's all you need to know, dude. You know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with those people. They're not wired the right way. They're not playing for each other. The Heat play for each other. Because you have one rock, one star, and then everything else has to fill in. Because everybody else is a role player. So everybody plays a role. If the star's gone, nobody steps up and takes over. Right? There's no such thing on this team because there's no other star. Right? You know, I love what Bam's doing. He's playing terrific, but he's playing a role is what he is. They don't double Bam. If Jimmy's out, Bam doesn't take over a game and start carrying you to victories. That doesn't happen because that's not his game. That's not who he is. He's not a star, but he is a star role player. You know, he's a freaking amazing role player. And Kyle Lowry's not a franchise player. He's overpaid, but he's done. I know the last game he had a crappy game, but overall he's had a good playoff. He's Caleb Martin. Let me tell you, that's the one guy. That's the one guy that's got the star ability in him. Whether it happens or not, I have no idea. But when you can play like that and you can play offense like that, that's a whole different ball game in this league. So when you can shoot the way he's shooting now, but he's still playing a role. So is Gabe Vincent, who's been a little off and a little on lately now after 1 month of tearing ass. I mean, Gabe was on a great roll. One of the reasons why you're here is Gabe Vincent. Everybody's done a fabulous job, dude, but they play for each other. The Celtics are not playing for each other, and that's the beauty. And so far, this idiot coach, you know, this guy may be a good coach down the line. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. But Mazzulla right now he's a child right now, playing in the sandbox, and Spo's like dad looking over him like, hey, yeah, you're not supposed to eat that sand. You know, that's what's going on here. It's not. This is child's play right now for Spo. You know what I mean? And it's not Mazzulla's fault. It's really the Celtics' fault because if you have a championship caliber team, get a championship caliber type coach or somebody that can really handle the situation, not a newbie to all of this that has never been a part of it. And then you're just throwing them into the fire. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden you're the last samurai desperately climbing into the costume because the other guy got sick and almost died. And then you go fight that massive thing. And then they find out, hey, it's not him. It's Cruz, whatever his name is in Last Samurai. And they beat his ass for, you know, dishonoring them. Oh, you know. If you haven't seen The Last Samurai, I'm sorry if I ruined that for you. I love that freaking movie, by the way. I can watch that movie, although I hate that they die at the end. That's the part that it's kind of like the 300. Like, no, bro, I want him to win at the end. You know, after you've done all that ass kicking, you piled up the bodies, kind of like the Panthers and the Heat are doing right now, piling up the bodies. No, but seriously, the Celtics are just not playing for themselves. And that's where I think the Heat have a monster advantage. They're playing for them. They're playing for each other. It's really, really cool to watch. So Celtics favored by 3.5. The over and under is 214.5. Celtics are minus 155 on the money line, and the Heat are plus 135 on the money line. Remember, all year long, we made money because they would give the Heat too many points, right? Is that what it was? Yeah, that's how. No, right. They would give the Heat would be giving too many points, and we're like, yo, you got to take the opponent because the Heat. And now it's the reverse. Now I'm taking the Heat because they're playing good now. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. It's crazy. Anyway, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? Reports are, by the way, Miami and Los Angeles are battling for the 2027 Super Bowl. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, folks. I see Jamie Zorrilla from San Jose, number one in the house. Adrian Garcia in Isais, Josh Hart, Robert Triana, Eric Scott. Says, good morning. What a run by the Panthers. Bob is finally performing like the goalie we thought he is. Exactly. Yeah, it took him, several years, and at least now in the playoff run, finally, for a stretch. So all that money is for one stretch. If it ends up with a Stanley Cup, is it worth it? Does Viola and Sifu say $70 million for that guy? Worth it? Oh, man. To think that there was a trade Jimmy talk a few... You can't trade him now because if they win the title, that would be terrible. But, yeah, trade the whole team. It's SoFlo Sports to think. I love this part about fans. This is why fans are fanatical, ridiculous, senseless, don't have any kind of real judgment. They're just fanatical and they're blind. And so to think that there was trade Jimmy, bro, trade everybody. This team was completely a fraud throughout the entire year. And so now they all stepped up, and it's just a miracle. It has nothing to do with it. They were on the brink of elimination against the Atlanta Hawks. They played like dog shit the entire year. And then all of a sudden, the shit started bouncing your way. But let's be honest now. See, here's the part that SoFlo Sports, you know what I mean? You want to play the fanatical thing and ride and Cinderella, and you've got the slipper on, and you hit the lottery, and you want to play and hide in the stars and all that, but you don't want to look at reality. Okay? This is not the show for you. If you just want the South Florida fan with the pom-poms and really never any insight, and then when you ask them to pick something, they're always going to pick the home team because that's the way it goes. And if you don't pick the home team, oh my God, you're such a bad guy, and this and that. And they're so afraid to be the bad guy or the bad girl, they don't pick against the home team unless it's so obvious that we all do it, right? Like I got a couple, hey, you picked the Celtics. Of course I picked the Celtics. They're more talented, bro. You're going to say that because you're a fan. Oh, I picked the Heat. Of course you picked the Heat. You have no objectivity. But let's be honest now. The Heat got a monster break with Giannis being injured. That opened up the door. They took advantage of it. They survived. Giannis comes back. They eliminate him, to their credit. Then they get the Knicks, who are a gift, and they're not very good. And now you get the Celtics, who are really better than you, more talented than you, but they're not led by the right coach. They're not playing the right kind of basketball. So you can take advantage of it because you play great basketball because you're led by a great organization and, of course, the best coach in the NBA. So fundamentally, do they have a chance against Denver? of course the fan's going to say it. I'm not going to pick them against Denver. Denver's way better. But you, SoFlo fan, and a couple of my friends that call me will pick Miami against Denver because you're a fan. Now, did I pick the Carolina Hurricanes? No, I picked the Panthers. Do you know why I picked the Panthers? Because I'm objective. Because when I look at Kachuk and Bennett and Montour and Reinhardt and Duclair and Barkov and I think I might be missing one more. They're better than the bunch I'm watching with the Heat. Verhaeghe is better than anybody on the Miami Heat outside of Butler, like 10 times over. Okay? So I'm picking the Panthers against Carolina. I picked the Celtics, but I did it out of being objective, not a blind-ass fan. But I get it. The team played like you should have blown them up. The good thing is Duncan's increased his trade value. You still got to continue to trade him in the offseason if you can. Obviously, with Jimmy getting to the NBA Finals, in a perfect world, you probably would like to unload him because the next 3 years, you got $150 million and the body's not going to hold up. He missed. The reason why you're an A seed, SoFlo fan, since you're not objective, it's because Jimmy couldn't play a quarter of the season. Is he going to play a quarter of the season next year? He can't. He's going to miss at least a quarter of the season. So that will hurt you in the standings. Do you know why? You don't have a star to pick it up when he's out. You know, when Wade would go out, well, then there's LeBron and Bosh. If LeBron was out, well, then there's Wade and Bosh. See what I'm saying? So when Jimmy's out, you don't have a star to take over. So that hurts you in the standings. That hurts you. This is why you were an 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? So you can be all the, live in the moment. It's fun. They're winning. It's great and all that. Your job's to be a fan. My job is to stay level-headed and to look at things the way I think they are. I'm not always going to be right. I'm going to be wrong a whole bunch of times. And I'm the first guy to tell you when I'm wrong. But come on, man. They played like they were supposed to be torn apart. But everything's kind of fallen into place right now, and they're making a nice run. But, again, do you really think they should beat Denver? No, bro. No. Denver by far is the best team in the league. You know what I mean? But, again, I'll be, I can't believe you picked Denver. Well, bro, I can't do this job just to be with pom-poms on. That's your job. You're the fan. You're fanatical. You look at it blindly. You have no real objectivity. So it's just funny. Oh, to think they could have traded. Yeah, bro, for sure. They give you the house, move them. Nobody knows that this was going to go on. Nobody. Okay? Only it's like my buddy, I got a Dolphins fan. I got a friend of mine that's one of my better friends. He's as blind ass a Dolphin fan as it gets. Every year they're going to win 12 games. Come on. Oh, get behind it. This, that. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's Cam Cameron. Doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter if it's, rest in peace, Tony, kicking field goal. That the guy is like endless positive because he's a fan. You know what I mean? But one day he'll be right about the 12 wins. Now, he's been wrong for 40 years, but that's the fan. I get it, bro. I understand. But, let's not act like, oh, my God, to think that. Yeah, that was the right thing to think. Okay? Because nobody knew this was going to go on. Come on, man. Billy Shaw, thank you for the love on the super chat, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for all you and Sean do. Go Panthers. Thank you, sir. Let's see. I got into a fender bender with OJ McDuffie last week. Well, are both of you fine? That's good. I hope you had insurance. Okay. I know OJ's got to have insurance. That's all I hope, that both of you were driving around with insurance and you're both safe. Outside of that, the rest is, replaceable, man. As long as we got both of you around, big NYCE or big nice. I don't know if that's how it is. That's what matters, bro. Manuel Garcia. Oh, I am in Anchorage, Alaska. Nice. On a cruise. Thank you for being a lifeline. I'm sorry. I am keeping up with everything because of you. Well, thank you, sir. Very nice of you. The Celtics have no heart or hustle. Eric, if they had the right coach to instill it in them, they'd be fine. They just don't have the right structure. That's what it is. They have the talent, dude. They have two guys that can be stars and can play off of each other. So it's just, I'm telling you, if Spoelstra led them, they'd be up 2-0. They'd be kicking ass. You know what I mean? Did you see Mission Impossible trailer? Yes, I did. I saw it. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. As awkward as you may think Tom Cruise is with his Scientology garbage and all that. Yeah, I called it Scientology garbage. Anyway, I love his movies. As an actor, he's one of my favorites. You know what I mean? I don't. There's very almost. It's so rare for me to find a Tom Cruise movie I dislike. It really is. It's almost impossible for me to dislike a Tom Cruise movie. So yeah, can't wait for the Mission Impossible movie to come out. Tommy says, I feel Spo will have them focused tonight like he had them from the first tip. Oh, yeah. No, and not only that, I think if you're the Heat and you're Butler, you're smelling blood. That's what tonight is about. Tonight is you're smelling blood, bro. You go for the jugular. That's why I told you cannot lose both. Worst case scenario, you must split in Miami. You must go back to Boston with an insurmountable 3-1 lead. You cannot go back to Boston 2-2. That's unacceptable because now you've allowed the talent to resurrect, believe in itself, and now you've got trouble. But if you put your foot down and put it right on their throat, that's what this is all about today. You've got to do that. And then put game 4 where they're going to kill themselves just to avoid sweeping. You know that thing. That's all. And maybe you do sweep them because maybe they're demoralized and they're weakened to the point like we can't beat these guys 4 straight. Plus this idiot coach we have has no answers. He keeps his timeouts like if they're luggage and, like I'm not sure what that asshole's doing with his timeouts. Does he collect them? What does he do? Does he, like, after the game, we've got 2 more. Yeah. We're up to 67 timeouts we've kept in the last month. Oh, honey, that is so good on your part. You're being so efficient. Jay says most improved player in the playoffs for the Heat is definitely Duncan Robinson. He's been a necessity on offense and playing better than average on defense. Defense, playing off the ball, driving to the hoop. Who the hell is this Duncan Robinson? Trade him. Let's see. What else do we have? Spo is the best coach in the NBA by far. It doesn't show in the regular season like it does in a 7-game series. Oh, disagree, dude. I see it all the time in the regular season. I guess you didn't watch the blood clot years. Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever. UFOs are common in Anchorage. They are. But I thought they retired. I thought UFOs not traveling anymore. I just saw them in their last tour. You mean they just go to Anchorage to play? Anyway. I still think we need the trade Hero for sure, bro. It's proving you don't need Hero. Come on, man. If you could trade Hero, fine. But problem is, I don't know what you're going to get for Hero. He's always injured. The guy can't finish a season. But yeah, Hero, Duncan, and any other package deal to get Dillard, Beal here. Dillard, not Beal. Get me Dillard. Okay? Because that's what Jimmy needs next to him, an assassin. I'm not sure. Are you sure Bradley Beal's an assassin? Are you sure? I'm just asking. And I know you'll have more time with Beal, right? Because he's younger. And with Lillard, it's a small window, but so is Jimmy's window. And Beal's already proven he can't do shit by himself. He can't even make playoffs by himself. Usually, if you're a one star, you should at least, Bosch made it to the playoffs a few times with Toronto. Wade made it 2 years in a row with the Rasul Butlers of the world before the big three, that kind of stuff. If you have a star, you should at least make the playoffs. I'm just saying, Dame Lillard is a killer. He's an assassin. And he might be a cheaper trade because there's less of a window with him. Whereas Beal, you may have to give up more because you're keeping him for a longer period of time and they know it. Whereas Portland knows you're keeping a guy for a year or two because he's already at the end of his career. But who's the assassin? You know what I'm saying? So looking at what you have, maybe you need an assassin next to Jimmy. He doesn't have it, bro. Like Kachuk has Verhaeghe, an absolute assassin. Just a total assassin. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy just doesn't have that guy. There's nobody on this team that's a star. They're all role players. And no matter what you tell me about Bam, Bam's offense is fed off of everybody else. Okay? It's him cutting and garbage and all, but it's not him running the offense and driving and scoring all the time at will and whenever he wants. He can't do that. That's not who he is. Can't impose his will. He's a super role player. But ask yourself this, when Jimmy's out, does he take over and win games for you? Does he lead you in offense and aggressively is out there? No, because that's not who he is. When he's going off, are they doubling him? No, they'll double Jimmy. Yeah, but they won't double him because there's nobody really to double. It's Jimmy that should double. So he needs that assassin. Got to have that assassin. And if you're going to trade for one of those two, I would go Lillard, at least. What up, O and everybody? Can I get a B-Day shout-out? Josh. Wait, is this the same Josh? Didn't I give Josh V? Is it Josh V? Am I right here? Yeah, Josh V, we gave you a shout-out. Okay. Is that you that sent in the Cash App on Friday night? Because, if you're saying it's your B-Day today, Josh, so happy birthday, brother. I did give you a shout-out a little while ago on it, okay? So thank you. Ray Martinez, thank you for the love on the Cash App, sir. That is huge on your part. I appreciate it immensely. He says, for Pump tonight, go Heat. Great job, Big O. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you, man. Very nice of you. Very nice of you. What else do we have going on? Let me see. Cash App or Venmo, by the way, at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. If you want to make a donation. And you can make a Bitcoin donation on Cash App or Venmo. Big O, I got my brother to subscribe to your channel. We appreciate your honesty and loyalty. to our home teams. Good, bad, or ugly, you give it to us blood raw. Thank you. We try. You know what I mean? In the end, of course, my heart is where it always is, with Miami, with the Heat, with the Dolphins, the Marlins, the Panthers, the Canes, Inter Miami, FAU, FIU, you name it. It's always there. I always want them to win. But that's not my job, is not to sit here and be a cheerleader and just pick all the home teams every single time. You know what I mean? I got to look at it objectively and tell you what I think. While I picked the Celtics in 7, right, in this series, and I'm going to be wrong, I hope. I picked the Heat last 2 games, taking the points, and I'm taking the points again. You know what I'm saying? I did pick the Panthers over Carolina because I think the Panthers are legitimately a better team. I think the difference is I think the Heat obviously is better than what they were during the season, but they got some breaks here, and they are smart enough and well coached that they're able to take advantage of the breaks they have because it's not a strong Eastern Conference right now. Let's just be honest. But the Panthers obviously did not play the way they played during the regular season because they weren't healthy, system and all. Now the goalie got hot, and then everybody's healthy. And if you really look at the talent around Kachuk, there is more star quality around Kachuk than there is with the Miami Heat, if you're honest with yourself. As I've said, Verhaeghe is 100 times better than any player on the Miami Heat outside of Butler, because Verhaeghe is a flat-out badass. And in key moments, last year and even this year, he's proven to be, outside of Kachuk, the baddest ass of them all. Okay, and he continues to prove it right now. Barkov's got a little slight edge over him right now in this series, not in the overall playoffs. I still give Verhaeghe the heads up, but last 2 years, your top playoff performer is Carter Verhaeghe, not Barkov. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why when you brought up Beal and Lillard, I'm thinking what Butler needs, he needs a Dame Lillard. But it's going to be impossible with the Kyle Lowry salary on there. It's just really, really hard. You got to get rid of that Kyle Lowry salary with the Duncan salary. I don't know if you're going to be able to get rid of Tyler Hero that easy because he's been so fragile. And he's fragile. Let's be honest now. Sadly, it's not a fun word to use, fragile, for a player, but Tyler Hero's fragile, unfortunately. 37 saves by Bob yesterday. Absolutely amazing, man. And Gabe Vincent, let me tell you something. We talk about players that are coming up big. Gabe Vincent went through this funk, and now he kind of got out a little bit out of it here in the last game and a half here. And for him to commit that 3-point foul, dumb foul on his part, I'm sure he'll tell you, right? You'll say it. We'll all say it. But then to come back and hit that dagger, that's the kind of stuff that you can't coach that. Either the player has a mental toughness to his game or he doesn't. And Gabe Vincent was a guy that was a scorer when he was in college, right? So he has that mentality, and he has that level of fearlessness in him. And you got to love that. Caleb Martin, another guy that is playing fearless. That's some of the reasons why. Duncan, let me tell you, I think there's a classic movie called Risky Business with Tom Cruise. And it's a great, great movie. And there's one of his friends who is Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. He's also in Moonlighting. And so he has a line where he tells him, sometimes you've got to say, what the F, right? And it's a funny line. And so to me, that's Duncan Robinson right now. Duncan Robinson got to a point and said, "What the F?" And he has let himself go, dude. He's trying to play defense. He's playing off the ball. And I heard Spo talk about the hours that Duncan was putting in. You know, he was saying that's 10 months of work, I think he said, or something. The last 10 months of him driving to the hoop and playing off ball and all that kind of stuff. And kudos to Duncan Robinson, man, because he's a great young man. And that's that's the other thing about this team. They're all good character. I mean, Bam's the guy you want your daughter to marry. You know what I'm saying? You look at Caleb Martin, he looks like a fantastic young man that carries himself the right way. Gabe Vincent, these are all tough young men. You know what I'm saying? They're character people, and you've got some guys that have some moxie to them. You can't play the way Caleb's playing without some moxie. You can't do what Gabe is doing. And Duncan, who is self-made in a way, kind of like the way Butler has kind of, constructed himself all the way to stardom, Duncan's doing the same thing, coming from absolutely nothing to creating himself into one of the better shooters in the NBA. And then now you're watching him also grow and expand his game, because that's all we talked about. Yeah, Duncan can shoot, but Duncan can't defend. He can't rebound. He can't play off the ball. He doesn't drive to the hoop. He doesn't really set people up. He doesn't handle the ball. He had all kinds of flaws in his offensive and, of course, defensive game. And he's not the greatest defender, but damn, he made an effort in the last game. And that's all you can ask for right now when you know where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of credit to some of these guys for, getting it done. It's impressive, I got to say. Let's see, what else do we have here? Dolphin5413 says, hit that like button, guys and girls. Yes, please. How many do we have right now hitting the like button? Let me get the latest here. We have 59 and 153 watching. I mean, we made an effort here on Sunday to get on for you guys. Come on. Help the brothers out here. Hit that hit that like button. Get the algorithms going, man. Come on. A third of the people it's actually not a third, because people have already left. So that's kind of an inaccurate number. There's probably like easily 110 people that have not hit the like button out of the 153. So think about it. If everybody just reached over to the thumbs up, come on, man. Come on. Thank you. Thank you out there, please. It's very important, that like button. Visit our sponsors. Also, very, very important, like Hialeah Park Casino, like Essential Moving Experts. And if you need to move your home or office, call my guy Sean Williams at Essential Moving Experts. In Daytona is the home offices, but they will move you anywhere in the country, from city to city, state to state, across the country, business, home, whatever. Call our friends at Essential Moving Experts. What else do we have here? Giovanni says, awesome bonus special of Big O. Howdy. Thank you, Giovanni. Very nice of you, sir. True Fin Fan says, this team never comes in unprepared or lazy. Win or lose, they fight till the end. Couldn't be prouder of the Heat. Both the Heat and the Panthers, the heart that they have shown has been absolutely impressive. You know what I'm saying? We've got to be really impressed with the kind of determination that they've shown. And listen, they all threw us for a loop, because Panthers barely make the playoffs. The Heat barely make the playoffs, and they're making history right now doing what they're doing as 8 seeds. This is just ridiculous. And what the Panthers have done, like Vegas says, okay, the Boston Bruins easily are the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. All right, we'll knock them out. Okay, well, the Boston Bruins are now out. Let's see. The next team is the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are the best team left in the NHL. They're going to win the cup. Oh, okay. We'll knock them out too. Okay, let's look over the landscape. All right, let's crunch the numbers. The Carolina Hurricanes are now the best team in all of hockey. They are set to win the Stanley Cup. They're the favorites. Oh, really? Okay, now they're down 2-0. Not even Vegas. They don't get it wrong a lot. Those of us that gamble, how many times did you get 6, right? And you say, all right, they got to lose under 6. And they end up losing by a point more. And you're off by half a point. You're off by a point, and you're like, sons of bitches, how did they do this? And whatever system they have to figure that out, and because everything's math in the world, okay? My wife has told me that for decades as a math teacher, that everything's math, and I used to kind of laugh at her, a couple of decades ago about that. And then as time goes on, you start to realize, yeah, damn it, dude. You can kind of figure out everything through math. How crazy is that? That kind of shit. This is just as improbable as it gets. It's just ridiculous. It really is. Oh, my God. Heat versus Nuggets final live in Denver. That's best case for me. Oh, why? Because you live in Denver? That's pretty cool. Good for you, man. If you're a Heat fan living in Denver, that is awesome. That is awesome. Be good is, be perfect Heat Denver, right? Besides the Heat winning and beating Denver. God, that would be just phenomenal. But for me to fly over, you know where I'm going on this, right? Some of you know where I'm going on this. And you're going to play 2 games in a few nights. So you'd like to play the Heat Nuggets game, and then the next night, go to Red Rocks for a concert. And then the next night, go to the game. And then fly back to Miami. That would be just absolute, and a good concert, by the way, of course, at Red Rocks. And by the way, for those of you out there, if you've got, the cash and you can afford it and all that, God bless you. If you are going to Denver, I'm not sure what the concert schedule is, but if there's a good band out there in Red Rocks that has a singer, oh my God. To me, that's a bucket list for anybody that loves concerts. Anybody that loves music and all that, or you've got a favorite band and they've got a great singer. If your favorite band and singer are ever going to Red Rocks, I promise you, it's worth flying over there for a couple days just for whatever your favorite band is to watch them at Red Rocks. I promise you this. You will not be disappointed. It is an experience of a lifetime. It is the finest acoustics that you will hear on the planet in a natural setting. It just does not exist. It is just, all worldly. Let's put it that way. It's an all worldly experience. Okay. And get ready for the workout because you will have to climb a couple hundred steps. I'll fly to Denver and go with you, Fablor. LOL, says Dominique. See, there you go. He says, Red Rocks is absolutely beautiful. It's a must-see for anyone. Not just must-see, must experience. Worth paying for VIP, too. Yes, it is. You are correct. I'm telling you, it's just magical, dude. Magical. Really is. All right, we are out of here. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little show here, which I think we ended up doing almost an hour, pretty much. I told the wife, well, I'll do about a half hour. She looked at me like, really? You're going to do a half hour? And I'm like, well, I'll try, sweetheart. I'll try to do a half hour. I think I could get everything in a half hour and get out. She's like, when you start talking, you don't stop. And she's right. She's right. She's usually right, and I'm usually wrong. It's the thing. When you get married, you realize that a lot. right? That part sucks. I'm really good with sports, especially local sports. I'm usually more right than wrong with our local sports. You know what I'm saying? But around the wife, damn, why is it we don't bat nearly as a high percentage around the wife? What is it? Do they dumb us down or something? What is it about that? It's an odd thing, you know. Some of you are rocket scientists. Some of you are great investors. Some of you are great contractors. Some of you are great businessmen. And then when you're around your wife, you're just a complete idiot. How does that happen? I guess it happens the same way when your hockey and basketball team play like shit throughout the entire season, barely get into the playoffs, and now they're 2 wins away from the championship. So maybe that's why we're Panthers and Heat fans, okay? Because it kind of resembles our lives with our wives. Anyway, I love you all out there. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, same bat channel. On behalf of Sean Stanley and everyone on the platform, we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. If I don't come on tonight in some crazy ass way, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.